Yo, what up, people? You are tuned in to another episode of Behind the Baller. I am your host. You already know. Yep. Korean John Cusack, aka Forrest Gump of this hip-hop shit. I'm your host, Ben Baller. How you guys doing, man? I am so glad to be back in the States. And listen, I told you already, Tokyo was lit. I had a great time out there. Sat down with some plugs after I already did the weekend wrap up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, real quick, man. That was my man, Lakey Lake. You know what I'm saying? With the motherfucking jazzy ass beat. Man, I'm just, like I said, I'm happy to be back. But, goddamn, I'm dizzy as a motherfucker. About to head out tonight on a red eye to DC. My kids are going crazy. And I don't blame them, you know what I mean? They miss their dad and it's just a fucked up situation, but I got to get, well, this is not a bag situation. I'm going to DC to go see my man off. One of my best friends, Paul's getting married, and I'm a groomsman, and yeah, man. So anyways, going back up, man, Tokyo was crazy, and I had this 4:20 flight leaving Tokyo on Monday, or was it Tuesday? I forgot. I don't even remember now because I'm so fucking out of it. But flight, leaves at 4:20, whatever. And it was crazy. I get on, I get to the airport at like 3 o'clock. I'm good, check in. Everything's straight. I'm first class, going to Delta Suite. Everything is sweet. And then I meet some really cool young people on the plane. They work for Delta, and they had used their buddy passes and employee benefits and everything. Got their flights for $40 or like $30 or something ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I paid $11,000 for my ticket. Some people were like, "Oh, you didn't pay no $11,000. You're so full of shit." And blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. Some of you fucking listen, man. Some of you people really think it's just crazy. Do you have any idea? First class could run anywhere from 11 to 25 grand to Tokyo. I've even checked, and that's with months in advance. No low season. You know what I'm saying? Like not even on a high season. No holidays, none of that shit. People have no fucking clue. So anyways, I go to sleep because I was tired as fuck. Plus, it was midnight in LA, so I'm trying to beat my jet lag. So I'm like, all right, listen, it's midnight in LA. It's 4 o'clock here. Boom. Let me fall asleep for like 6 or 7 hours. That will get me right. And then when I get up, I'll try to, get boom. And then basically, I'll keep my little caffeine going. Then once I get around 9:30, I'm going to take some Benadryl, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Back in LA, boom, blah, blah. And next thing you fucking know, I go to sleep for like 2.5 hours or something. I get woken up by the nurse on the plane. I didn't even know there was a fucking nurse on first class. And we turn around, we come back, and I find out from the pilot that the fucking engine blew. And I'm fucking tripping. And I'm like, wait a second, what the fuck you talking about? The engine blew. And like, oh, one of the engines is out. So we never left the tarmac. We were shaking off, hit the tarmac, find out one of the engines is gone. I was already passed out. All right. So we were fucking gone for 3.5 hours or so. And, of course, it's safe. You know what I'm saying? Like the first 6 or 7 hours, you can't even get to Hawaii for like 6 or 7 hours. So basically you're going over the fucking, the Pacific Ocean and whatever. And there's nowhere to land. You know what I'm saying? So if the engine blew out, we were fucked. Where we going to land? On the water? Like, so part of me is like, all right, cool. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So it's like 9 and I'm starting to trip. I'm like, yo, hold on. I got to get on this. I got to get home. Like I got shit I got to take care of. I got to grab these motherfucking wedding rings for Paul. I got responsibilities. I got to see my kids. I was supposed to land in LA at 10:30 in the morning on Tuesday morning. And I was like, yo, I can't have this. This can't happen. So I started checking all kinds of flights and all this other shit. So, I didn't have time to fuck around. So Delta started sending out these vouchers, and they're giving you $200 worth of a hotel stay, some food credits and shit. I'm like, yo, no, hell no. And the flight was supposed to leave the next day at 4:20. And I was like, yeah, that ain't going to happen. I can't land on Wednesday at 10:20. I won't be able to do what I got to do. I'll be all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Then I miss my fucking, it just wasn't going to crack. So I get on my phone and the Wi-Fi works. I just started checking out, whatever. And I found a flight. I found a one-way ticket back home for $5,000. And I was like, fuck, I got no choice. So I buy that because, you know, I had to. And I was just in a fucking an angry mood, you know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, you're blessed. But nah, man, y'all don't understand. I got a lot of shit going on. You know, I got 3 kids. Nobody who got 3 kids and is out there hustling know what the fuck's talking, you know, and especially everyone living good. A lot of people are responsible. I'm responsible for a lot of people's, you know, livelihoods and shit and everything else. A lot of pressure, a lot of stress. I got a lot of my homies that are going through stress and stuff. And it's like, you know, that shit got canceled. I never had an international cancel like that on that level. And then I found out later that plane didn't leave at 4:20 the next day either. So motherfuckers was stuck for another day or whatever they were doing. I don't know what they did. I had people on fucking social media talking about, I can't believe I'm on a private jet yet. Let me tell you something. You're not fucking stupid. Listen, well, I don't know because I don't have any money. Okay, but then you shouldn't say some silly shit like that. I would never say anything if I don't know about it. Do you know what I mean? If I was broke and I never was in any lifestyle or anything and would just assume, oh, you know, you should be PJ. Stop looking at Instagram for fucking bullshit stories, bro. Nobody on IG, nobody is flying to China round trip on a real motherfucking, bigger than a Gulfstream plane. No one is doing that shit. One, it is the most ridiculously bumpy, scariest fucking ride in the entire world because I've done it before from LA to fucking Azerbaijan. And I can't tell you why because I signed an NDA. But understand this, a round trip ticket from LA to motherfucking Asia, there and back, is going to run you $350,000. All right. You guys have no fucking idea. You're talking about a motherfucking McLaren 720S for a round trip, brand new. All right. Just for one round trip. You guys have no, even billionaires don't do that shit. Okay. First class is the way to do it. So anyways, I get on the flight, didn't have no first class upgrade. Oh, boo-hoo, yeah, I get it. You know what, man? I just like to be in a certain, you know, I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle. It's how I travel. I don't like flying as it is. I just had to calm down. And in fact, my brain is just not working correctly, you know. But anyways, I'm excited. I'm back home. They had this motherfucking meeting today banning tobacco in LA County. They're banning flavored tobacco all over LA County. I don't remember the specifics, but, you know, there's like a 6 months where you could try to get your license and everything. But you got to remember, if you live in Los Angeles, you can go to any fucking strip mall, any corner area, and you're going to see, like you see manicure place, you know, nail place everywhere. You're going to see a fucking vape shop or tobacco, e-cigarette, you know, whatever, in those vape juices and those fucking big ass fucking batteries and blowing out fucking all these crazy ass vape tricks. And I'm sorry for my friends to do smoking. That shit just lame as fuck, bro. But none of those shits is regulated. In fact, even the flavored jewels are banned. So this is a big deal. And they try to ban THC. The only thing is, you got to remember, THC taxes on cannabis in California, do you have any idea? We're talking billions of taxes. I'm not talking about a billion. Multi-billions of dollars are going to taxes from cannabis sales. So it's in their best interest, you know what I'm saying? I understand, stop the trap shit and stop the motherfuckers who are bootlegging and doing the black market shit. VVS, we're straight. We on that real shit. We keeping it 100. We getting tested. Like I said before, we're compliant. You know, so October 12th, don't forget, October 12th, I think it's like 1 or 2 o'clock. I'll put the details up. I got my MedMen release. That shit's going to be lit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do a big at MedMen. And we're going to bring the VVS Bugatti out and bring my Pista out. We're gonna do it big, man. So, yeah, man, speaking of weed, I got some real big cats on the show today, man. This is going to be fucking amazing. I got my man Sherbinski, my man G-Putt from Sherbinski team. Shout out to my homie Chrissy Poon and all the Sherbinski fam. We about to get into it in a minute. I just kind of want to talk about a few things. Oh yeah, that grill giveaway, that shit is going on. By the time you hear this, you got one more day tomorrow. I got 35,000 comments on that motherfucker. It's crazy. I don't know who won the waffle racers yet from Collect, but that should be going on. Should be pretty soon. Speaking of that, by the way, my white Air Force Ones, my daughter stepped on my shoe and she stepped on some mud, right? I pulled out one of them Crep Protect wipes, quick wipes, wiped up my shit, decided to clean up all my shoes, had my shoes semi-new to looking brand new, like literally, man, Crep Protect travel wipes, these little quick wipes, they're literally saviors. You know what I'm saying? I carry like 10 in my suitcase. Anytime I travel, keep a couple in the car. And on another note, my wife has some Jimmy Choo shoes and they're just like suede. And she had like 3 bad like mud stains on them, like really bad. And I pulled out this fucking Crep Protect eraser, suede eraser. and I used that shit on my wife's shoes, and it took off like, it was really bad. Like nothing would fucking work, right? And I took off like 96, 97% of then fucking all the stain just off that eraser. So, shout out to Quip Protect. They are, sponsoring this episode, and they are one of the sponsors for Behind the Baller podcast. And I love all the Quip Protect team, man. All my boys over there, man. Quip is just fucking amazing. My dog Steve. I'll be doing some big things with them in the future. Yeah, oh, by the way, grail.com, I got my closet sale going up on Friday, so don't miss that. I got, some dope-ass old vintage Bape. I got some Supreme shit on there. I got a Montclair jacket. I got an Antisocial Rimowa bag. And what I do have is I have some jewelry pieces for sale that are going to be a steal, okay? Speaking of clothing, I think there's like 15 Ben Baller Pod t-shirts. So after that, that's it. There's 15 t-shirts left or something like that. Might be less. And what else, man? Yeah, when I was in Tokyo, I was working on some watches. When I landed, I decided I was going to post it right when I got here, but I just focused on my kids. Slept with Ryder last night. I just hugged them, and I just missed the kids so much. I don't know, man. I hugged my kids, kissed them maybe 1,000 times, all three of them. And my daughter, this morning, when I was getting ready to run some errands, she didn't want to let me go. And man, I love my kids so much. I can't wait to be back next week for at least 3 or 4 days. And, I had to bust out some watches on the gram and hurt some people's feelings because I hear people chit-chatting. It's just like, yo, this person's punching the person in the air because they hear like the baby brought out Johnny Dang and someone else on stage. Like, you realize I don't even give a fuck about none of them dudes. Like, even if they're spending some money, like, bro, you guys have me so backwards. Like, I'm not even thinking about them dudes. Like, I'm working on shit that's so on a different level. And then they're bringing up other jewelers that are young and they're popping, they're doing the thing. Man, congrats, bro. But guess what? What they make in a whole year, I do in fucking 6 weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do it damn near in a month. It's like that's where I'm at in my life. So, I'm pretty much just managing myself. I just do what I want to do. And it's just like, you guys have no idea. I caught Aaron Carter from the Backstreet Boys. Is he from the Backstreet Boys, or what the fuck is one of the motherfucking, either one of the dudes from the Backstreet Boys, either it was him or his brother, was on my boy Adam 22's page, and he's rocking a fucking Tourbillon AP, and it was fake. And my man Fake Watchbuster, who I hadn't talked to in a long ass time. Fake Watchbuster is from, I won't even fucking put him on blast like that, but he's not from America. And he came in there and had to break it down too. Dude is just, I don't know, man. Like, bro, if you're gonna wear a fake AP, don't wear a super rare one. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, man, like, fuck you thinking. And what else, man? We got the giveaways. We got the fucking auction this weekend. Oh, man. Jimmy Choo. And if you know any of the guys who've spent money on buying your girl some really nice shoes, or you got a girl who got some Jimmy Choos, you live that lifestyle, that upper higher echelon type shit when it comes to, high fashion. Jimmy Choo just sent me some shoes, some diamond trainers, some diamond sneakers. These are the craziest fucking shoes I've seen in my entire life. I'm probably going to post them today after this podcast comes out. They fucking crazy as shit. And they cost $6,500 plus tax. Shout out to my sister because she plugged me. Motherfuckers is crazy. Oh man, the motherfucking Seahawks. I can't wait for this game against the Rams. I hate the fucking Rams. This will be a real test for us. We 3-1 right now. You know what I'm saying? We did our thing, and I'm just hyped. I'm jumping on the motherfucking plane with the motherfucking Seahawks jersey on. So we'll land into Washington, D.C., rocking the Seahawks, be watching the game, see what happens. This weed shit is crazy though, man. This shit could really fuck around and just end up fucking a lot of people's, careers, their financial situation up. And I don't know, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some shit right now on this podcast with Sherbinski and everything else. Meanwhile, Dust Brothers, can you kick me one of them Lakey beats real quick, and then we'll jump into this interview. Cheer. Thank you to our friends at Quip for the endorsement. Everyone needs white teeth, and Quip will help you simplify your morning and evening with their electric toothbrush. When you think electric toothbrush, you may jump to thinking pricey luxury. That's because most brands focus on flashy, unnecessary gimmicks instead of building correct brushing habits. That's why Quip was invented, to to help you brush better with only the features that matter. This toothbrush has a built-in 2-minute timer that pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when to switch sides and help you clean your entire mouth evenly. Brush heads are automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for $5. A friendly reminder when it's time for a refresh and to stay committed to your oral health. Quip is one of the first electric toothbrushes accepted by the American Dental Association. I love Quip because it makes my life easier and it keeps my teeth pearly white. That's why I love Quip and why it's perfect for getting back into a routine. Quip starts at just $25. And if you go to getquip.com/baller right now, you can get your first refill pack for free. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/baller. Yo, what's going on, man? So you are listening to Behind the Baller. I got two bad motherfuckers in this cannabis weed game, in this dank game. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with dank. Shout out to DJ Pooh and not DJ Pooh, my bad. MC Pooh. That's some old school Bay Area shit. I got motherfucking SHERBINSKIS in the house. We got my man G-Putt in the house. Yo, what's up, y'all?
What's happening?
What's up, man?
Shit, let's just get right into it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
So, yo, started out in San Francisco, right?
Yes, sir.
Started out in San Francisco. How did the business come about?
I mean, for me, it was, by necessity in the beginning. I was a real estate agent by trade. And I had a vision of being a broker and, being a real estate kingpin. And the market, I don't know how many years ago it was now, 10 plus years, the market went down and I went from making a good living to I could barely, pay the bills. So a friend of mine said, hey, you got that garage in your house in the Sunset, like, why don't you put up a couple of lights? And I didn't quite understood how, but he started telling me about, like, hey, I got a lawyer, you legally can do this, and, you get a collective. And so I started, diving into it as a real possibility because, I've always smoked, but I never really grew like that. And long story short, I've told this story a lot, but, my buddy, I spent like the last 10 G's I had cashed out my 401k, went in there.
Oh, shit.
For real. A lot of people don't know this, but, cashed out the 401k, went in and got all my lights and equipment. And when I had it all there, my boy that was going to help me, he bailed on me and was like, broke it up with his girlfriend, moved to LA. And he was nowhere to be found. So I ended up going down to Haight Street to the only place I knew I could get some information. I went to a bookstore and I found a book by Ed Rosenthal. It's like and Jorge Cervantes. They make these big like grow Bibles that have pictures and it goes. So that was the game, and that was like in 2003. And so I just actually found the book, and so that I went back and I've always been pretty handy. Like after I got out of high school, I framed houses. I did some construction, and so I ended up building my little room myself. And my next door neighbor was a police officer, and so literally the houses are connected in the Sunset. So I'm talking about.
Can we stop for 1 second?
Sure.
Let me stop for 1 second. So y'all don't even know. Like I've been breaking down the history of me. Like I'll bring some new school shit in, but I had this thing called the K-Town Hustler series where I talk about. I said for the first time in history, no one knows this. I got kicked out of every school out here, right? So I went to high school in a city called Albany. I went to Albany High School for
sure.
1 year. So we talking about that. I got a scholarship playing ball at Cal, transferred to SF State. Guess where I lived after I finished my first year in the dorms?
Set.
43rd and Vicente, dog.
Oh, man.
Where you stay at in the Sunset?
My house was on 30th and Moraga, right behind that Safeway.
Yeah, I know exactly where that Safeway. Bro, I used to go to the Safeway and get cupcakes in that motherfucker.
The gelato was on 39th Avenue, right by SI.
Oh,
like
shit.
literally a block away. So like, but there was houses that we had. There was 4 or 5 of them.
In the Sunset though?
Yeah.
God
well, you know
damn.
what it was is there was that whole bottom level that was wide open.
Yeah.
So,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and it was so easy. It was just on every given block. This was even 15 years ago. You walk down, every other house has got like light shining through the bottom, or you can smell it. And it was that beginning of that culture of like growers going into the dispensaries. In the Bay Area, a lot of people don't know, and this is why I always rep and hold it down. We started the whole dispensary game. Like it literally started from AIDS patients needing medicine, and and Prop 215 was passed in 1996, and that was the first one that set the stage for, basically global legalization, and we were part of that. And G was part of that. He was there. part of the black market. He was catering white glove service to a lot of artists, and people knew him because of like who he is and the presence he has. And fast forward to kind of how we started working is we had a vision. I had been working with Cookie Fam. We had been known globally for like the work they did with Girl Scout Cookie. I came in and started growing with them, and a lot of my garage grows because I built a reputation for being a good businessman and just doing shit right. So we started breeding, and that's subsequently we made the Sunset Sherbird and Pink Panties and the whole gelato line that really blew up. But when I kind of was looking to kind of do my own thing, G and I had met at what was it, one of the Sunday.
Yeah, it was like a Sunday day party. Anthony from the Bay. Shout out my boy Anthony Presents.
Anthony Chandler.
Yeah, so I think Franny was in town, and he was, and we all went to, every time Franny came in, we drop him off a little flower, come and hang out. And we just started rapping, and, I ended up giving some packs, and we started talking, and then we shared this vision of sort of like designer weed is something that we coined, like Cookie Fam, and like from all the weed we put out. And so when I met him, he was really into the designer clothing, the streetwear, really knowledgeable of the sneakers. And that was something like a whole new world for me, but I loved it. And I was like, man, this is dope.
That's around the time we met, right, Ben?
Yeah.
Around the Hate Street, same thing,
Yeah.
So we started talking, and we kind of felt like, the future, we feel like cannabis is already like integrated into this lifestyle, this culture, be it music, be it, streetwear, fashion. It's involved in everything that we do as people. So,
but what you guys did, what my listeners and what the people who will listen to this episode don't know, how like you see, it could be Supreme, Diamond Supply, it could be Off-White, whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
No one here did that until that people heard Cookies and whatever it may be, and just it opened up the floodgates. You know what I'm saying? For you motherfuckers to be smoking this shit. And that's what was dope about it, is it came from the Bay.
Oh, for sure. Like a lot of dope, innovative things, be it technology or whatever it may be, music,
Slang.
And there's an energy when I first moved there back in like '98. There was like the house music scene. It was really underground. There was a vibe, energy. It was you're walking, you're driving down Folsom, and you see like musicians with congas pushing them in like their shopping carts. There was a culture there that isn't there anymore,
Nah, bro, listen, South of Market, I was telling motherfuckers, there was this club called Club X in the early 90s, okay? And then it was an 18 over club, boom. I used to go to the Sound Factory back in the day. And then after the Sound Factory, we go to the End Up and party till 10, fucking 12, 11 a.m. The sun is out.
10:15.
Yeah. And like, that whole South of Market, that was not no fresh shit. I can't tell you how many billion-dollar corporations are on something. Motherfucking the St. Regis is at South of Market now. It's like,
you remember those days in like the late 90s on like 10:15. I was like, I think I was 20 years old, and I came down here with a friend, never been to the city.
Yeah.
Ended up doing some Molly and hanging out in the first night. And the guys were like, hey, you want a job here? And I thought, oh man, get the fuck away from me. I'm working. And then like later in the night, people were like, bro, you need to jump at that. This is be a good opportunity. So I ended up working for a guys named Martel and Nabil that were promoters. They did a party called Release.
Martel.
At 10:15.
Martel's a legend.
They ended up doing the what's the big one that got remodeled down by Union Square. They ended up moving and doing that place. Is gone now, but it was a big theater. Anyways,
you're talking about Ruby Sky.
Yeah, they ended up going to
Slide and all that shit.
They ended up doing Ruby Sky Slide.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a good, being 20 years old and being kind of put into that culture at that time. It was a lot of fun being in the Bay Area. But not too many years later, came the whole cannabis movement. And I never, I've smoked my whole life, but I never thought I'd be dedicating my life to this. But what happened for me is when I started going in with my packs and I developed these relationships. It was really the beginning of the relationship with like the farmer and, especially the urban farmer and these dispensaries that were opening up. And some of them were thuggish, some of them were, had different vibes. But I ended up finding home at the Vapor Room. My boy Martin Olive down on Lower Haight. That was when Upper Haight was the only, Lower Haight was like where the scrubs were. It was rough, you know what I mean? Close to the projects.
Yeah.
Street kids.
But those were some of the guys that taught me like how to really help a neighborhood. They came in, they were cleaning up, they were like, painting things, helping neighbors, like making sure that people weren't double parking. And it was an improvement in the neighborhood, and people ended up fucking with it, and Martin kind of told me, kind of taught me like that compassion, like with the cannabis industry. And so that's something that we still hold on to. That's something that's like the foundation of our brand. But we like to do it in style, and we'd like to do cool shit. And that's kind of how when I picked up G and he started working with a brand, you know, we want to reach out. You know, if the goal is to get like good quality medicine like out globally, I think fashion and dope sneakers and all that is a way, just an extension of how we can express ourselves as a brand, and it draws more people into a message of, you know, what we're really doing. And you know,
no, for sure. You know, I did a Bay appreciation episode, and I had motherfucking Lil B on it because I just wanted to bring him out. You know what I mean? We talked about the Bay. We talked motherfucking from Pinole to Dublin to motherfucking Sunset to Richmond, North, South. Like, we talked all about the Bay. You know what I'm saying? We talked about Fillmore, Alamany, Hunters Point, EPA, all that shit.
Yeah, there's legends out of every hood out here in the Bay.
You know, and I worked with JT Bigger Figure way back when I was in the music business. When was the first time you got high, dog? Like, when was the first time, both of y'all, when you experienced smoking weed?
You go ahead and go first, G.
Like, for real, dog. Like, you really smoked and was like, oh, shit.
Man, I think, I started really smoking heavy when I was going to college. Yes, I did go to college. I went to Cal State Hayward.
Okay, farmers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had the ability to go to school, and luckily I met some cool people from Southern California. That was the thing when I was going to school. Like, people from SoCal would come up, and people from up here would go down.
Yeah.
So just linking with some good people, and just right before classes, I would get loaded, bro. Like 2 blunts, you know, 2 for the dub, 2 for the 15 type shit, some real street shit. You'd be blessed if you got 3 for 25. It was like the little bag, and we would just get high with a group of people, and we would go to class, stay focused.
What year was this?
This is like 2006, 2007.
Oh, you a young motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, don't get it fucked
We're
up.
definitely going back to the 80s,
Yeah,
90s.
I'm a young nigga. I'm not the same age as Sher, man.
No, for sure.
I'm the young
I got some 8 years on you, too, but when was the first time you was getting lit?
You know, first time I ever smoked, my older sister was on the side of the house with her boyfriend, and they were rolling up some Mexican or something. This was like 80 something. And I was like, yo, Mom, can I go assist? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. I was young, 10. It didn't really get me high, but that was the first time I smoked. But in high school, you know, growing up in Northern California, it was like everybody had an older brother or somebody who was dealing, you know, or something out of their garage. And I started to hear this talk about, like, you know, crystals and red hair and, you know, fire. And I'm like, what is this? And it was real intriguing. Just really the first time I even started hearing about anything kind of cannabis related. And I just gravitated towards it, man. Like, I was like, I had to have it. And I wasn't big on drinking. You know, I really, you know, that was the first time. And a lot of my friends that, you know, they had experience. And man, like that really was Humboldt. Humboldt was the first stuff that I smoked.
I gotta add on.
Humboldt was the first, like, real shit. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about when I went to college, Humboldt State was in SF States. They're in a conference.
Of course.
And so was Cal State Hayward. But, like, when I first went to Humboldt, I couldn't believe that the police don't give a fuck. They had the kind, you know, before there was a chronic, they had the kind. And it was like, you know, it was just some special shit.
See, so let me go back. You said the first time I got high. Like, when you said high, I meant loaded. Like, when I finally got high. I smoked weed up like from middle school all the way up. Like, it didn't count though, because that shit wasn't good weed.
No, yeah. So when he said Mexican stress, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. On my last 2 episodes ago, I broke down. I used to sell dirt Mexican stress.
Me too.
AZ. I was getting it for 60 a p. Was flipping it for 350 a p in Ohio.
Legendary.
And I'm talking about 400, 500 pounds a week. Right? I'd lose take a couple L's here and there, but I was moving it. I remember smoking some Mexican stress weed in 1986. I was 13. And I was like, yo, this shit had you so high for 10 minutes. And then you're just like, what the fuck? Eyes red and shit, you know what I mean? Seeds, all that motherfucker.
As far as I know, guys like, you know, like my boy Ian, and we're talking about Kenji and those guys, like back in the day, from what I understand, the history is, you know, everybody used to grow outdoor, and then the police and camp and all the raids forced everybody indoor, like in the 80s, and then in the 90s it really took off. But you know, guys like Josh D and Matt Berger and Kenji, those guys, you know, had the OG, and there were some of the guys that I know when OGs I know talk about old stories. Those guys were like underneath their house in a 6x6 spot under the stairs.
Real
you know,
shit.
And
some
it was
Gaddafi
like
shit.
And
I was just talking to Kenji, and he was like, you know, at times I've run into people in the last 20 years and be like, oh, by the way, I'm Kenji. I'm like, motherfucker, no, you're not,
bro,
dog.
it's wild. Like, it's wild. You said it's like how me and Sher met. When I'd be like, bro, I chill with my man. He was like, they were like, bro, you be getting chill with Sher. I'm like, bro, it's my dude.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because even when you know, being from the Bay, being younger than him, we were able to see the other side of the game. Meaning, you know, I was in the streets, we did all that shit, but to see the developing side between the Cookie fam, Sherb, Burner, all those guys affiliated together. Just you couldn't touch those dudes. They were like the founding fathers of what really started.
Right.
So they paved the way for for people like us to watch and see how it developed, and to see relationships and all that. It's a process.
But the beautiful relationship between your two, I barely know y'all. I just know what I know, right?
Right.
The age difference. Some of my best friends are like 20 years younger than me. And what they see, I absorb that shit. All the fucking shit, the game I gotta go give out, they soak it up too.
Right.
So there's so much dope information that can translate between y'all with those missing years, right?
Of course.
But I didn't get G-Putt. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from India. I was born in India. I came here in the early 80s, migrated. Me and my mom's, my sister, my dad wasn't here yet.
Fam, where'd you grow up, dog?
Well, I grew up in the Bay. I grew up predominantly in Vallejo, California.
Okay.
So my first artist I worked with was Mac Dre. I'm from the North.
Oh, you from
Real
you
close
from the
to
Crest?
I know Diggs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I know, everyone. Sugar Wolf, fuck with
Lil
everybody.
Bruce.
Kilo, everyone, bro.
Yeah.
Dead.
Where was N Too Deep from?
They're from Vallejo.
Remember what I'm saying? What part were they from?
I think they were from the South. That's because they fucked with 40 hella heavy.
Yeah.
Because that was like us being from the North. We did, 40 was going the other side of the city. So
Yo, Earl, if you listen, you know my guy, man. Shout out to E40. That's my family.
Shout out to E40
yeah,
and the
big
clip.
homie, big bro, 40,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and Droopy. Shout out Droopy.
So let's fuck all the little like.
Let's get to it.
Hey,
Let's
real,
get to
real
it.
shit though. I just want to shout out to the Bay. You guys. I moved there when I was 19 years old. Spent 23 years there. I just moved. Most recently moved to LA, but the Bay Area is just. It's a vibe, man. It's
What
a
an
7
amazing
by
place.
yeah, and it's cool because I remember the early days we were talking about like MC Hammer would come from the East Bay and he had his whole crew, and then all the San Jose cats would come. This is before social media.
Yeah, way
all the
before.
guys from LA, all the weirdos from LA, but it was the culture. They had all the good stuff, and like it was just a vibe, man. And like still to this day, it's like if you're from the Bay and you've been there, you know people, and everyone knows each other. And so just shout out to the Bay, much love, and thanks for everything you helped to help me and support me in my career. And so I just want to try to give back as much as I can. So
We
much
got a
love.
lot of shit coming for the Bay too. Don't get it fucked up.
But what I'm saying is, listen, people don't get it. Look, check it out, man. I've been trying to buy a crib back in SF.
Right.
And I'm talking about dropping. I'm being real. Like I've been trying to drop an 8-10 mil crib, and I'm not even finding anything decent of where I want to be for 8-10 million.
Kitchen isn't remodeled.
Yeah. So peep game. Let's get into some gangster shit. Not some gangster shit. Listen, man. You came up at the right time. This game right now, a lot of Bay cats have flourished, right? I'm not gonna get into some cats over here, whatever. People gotta come to LA to get their bag. I get it. Jungle Boys is out here, whatever. I don't even know them cats. I know they follow me, whatever. A couple times they left some hater comments on my page and this and that, whatever. And I'll be like, yo, man, fuck it, man.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
Take
they
it
did the
easy.
same to me. so.
Relax. So going on in the Bay specifically, it's a lot of competitiveness. You know what I mean? From cats in the Bay, Burner, Jigga, everything else. What's the climate right now between all y'all? Is that a weird question? I'm just asking.
No, not at all. A lot of people message me, talk about it, leave messages, about what's up with Burner, what's up with Cookie Fam. I can't lie and say that it was always good, but right now it's good, and I think part of that is what I call it is those years, 5-6 years ago, we were going through the trenches. It was like legality wasn't hit. People didn't have licenses.
Yeah.
Really, that's just get popping right now. And so it was street shit. You know what I mean? It was like battle of like who's got what. And you know how it works. Like if someone claims something and you're on the street and I'm out there, G and I are out there, we don't go hide. Like, people run up on you and pull your
stand
card
outside,
like
bro.
real quick.
I stand outside. I've been
And
in
so-
every hood, brother. You can verify. Just like you, Ben. You've been everywhere. We the same way. Just respectfully, though.
Yeah, so
Full respect.
everywhere we go, we know we're not gonna lie about anything. We're not gonna tell stories. And so for me, there was a lot of bashing for me. Like when I left Cookie Fam, a lot of messages and, people trying to pick sides. And, basically when they see somebody think, oh, that guy's ready to go out. And I won't name names, but there was a lot of people
No,
that...
I'm just
There was a
curious.
lot of people at that time that thought, oh, sure, believe in Cookie Fam. He must be this, he must be that. They don't know really behind the scenes why. And, for me now, it's very validating and it gives me a good feeling to know like I did it. I didn't have to go and talk shit about nobody. I found my own lane. We had vision and we've been able to execute that, like with our dispensary opening on Fairfax.
And back to what you
next
said.
couple of weeks,
even with him, like, people, even when we started working together, people were like, well, why are you working with bruh? He's not fucking with, the fam no more. And I'm like, everyone, at that point it got really political. And for me, it was no politics involved. I needed to fire his bag. I've been in weed so long. I finally found the man. It was like finding the pot of gold. So you couldn't tell
Not
me
just
otherwise.
the pot of gold. I felt like the match was good.
That came later, though. That came later. The business was definitely we were on the verge of just making.
When I see you walk out of Hate, first of all, let me backtrack.
Yeah, there's a few layers to this.
Let me backtrack a little bit. Hate Street kind of depresses me now. It's not what it used to be. When I used to, I did my first dose of acid off of Hate Street. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
believe it.
Grateful Dead shit. Bill Graham died. I was at the Golden Gate Park. You know, people like doses. They had this little fucking Mexican restaurant. It was like a little burrito spot called Chavelas that was right there on Hate.
Yep.
This is when motherfucking crackheads used to hang out at the fucking McDonald's right there. And like, you know, skates on Hate.
Rest in peace, McDonald's. It's no longer there.
I remember when the sick shit was when they raised the prices of the dollar menu so the homeless wouldn't come in. You were like, oh shit, it's about to be a riot out
But
here.
you know how many motherfucking
Bro, legends.
How many Big Macs? How many
Hacks out of the
motherfucking
parking lot.
Not even street kids. I'm talking about motherfuckers coming out that park loaded, needed a dollar burger, bro.
but real shit, right? And the funny thing is, if I didn't know about that, y'all could call me out. I mean, bro, like I would just drive around. I played ball, so I would go to the marina play basketball. Sometimes I go to Pacifica to play basketball, but I'd always end up on Hate trying to score a dub. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. And then, like, I remember a motherfucker gave me a sugar cube. And I was like, you sure there's acid in this motherfucker? He's like, yeah. Next thing I know, I take that shit. It took 50 minutes. 50 minutes, right? I'm 19 years old. I'm like, yo, why the fuck them little fucking numbers on the alarm clock look so crazy, right? The motherfuckers is... So anyways, I don't want to get too
Hey,
back.
real talk. Before cell phones, though, those numbers on the clocks were only like color and light. You remember in the cars, they would that was the only light that really was there.
And there's a basketball court across the street from my house on 43rd and Vicente.
Right.
There's a small little basketball court, a little school. And I would tell this story all the time. I'm on acid walking around the neighborhood. And I'm like, God damn, bro, like, I could hear everything. I felt I heard crickets that were not even, I heard crickets that were at Sunset Beach. Okay, they're on the beach. I heard shit that was like, yo, and I feel like that made me who I am today. All the mushrooms I've tried, everything, it all originated from Hate. Right. Because you didn't always have a dude that was pulling up on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't about to go to fucking Hunters Point, pull up in Geneva Towers, have a motherfucker kill me over some weed. Like,
right,
you know.
Right.
But
you know what's funny on that is, like, I think about this a lot. I'm 43, you know, and
Right.
you know, I'm a little younger than you, but remember back in the day, all the hippies and the guys that were eating organic and smoking good fire, everyone was laughed at, and people thought, oh, what the hell? They didn't understand it. Now everybody's on the organic and the filtered water and the organic, you know. And
hold on, let's go to that right now. Fuck this. Motherfuckers is trying to kill me because I got Ben Ball, I did the strain, and I got all these hippie dudes that sit there like, oh, I got an outdoor grow in Colorado. Man, shut your bitch ass up, bro. And listen, ain't nothing wrong with organic. I'm not really out. I mean, bro, I smoke hydros. That's what I do.
Right.
You know? I mean, I don't know if Kenji Tug, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your opinion on organic versus hydro?
I mean, any grower who's trying to say this or that about, you know, it really just depends. Like, growing organic indoor is very challenging in terms of yield, and I don't know many people that have any grow that's of any significant size that's growing all organic.
That's what I'm saying,
really.
dog.
And it's a hybrid type of thing. If anything, they might be putting some things, but with organic, a lot of things come with that. One of which is a lot of bugs. You know, in outdoor, you spray organic things on it that are safe, and it's just part of the regimen that you're always doing it because you know the bugs are there. But indoors,
oh, man.
it's just and yields typically go down. So, you know, everybody's always got something to say. You know,
Stop lying to Ben, man.
no, but to me, organic, like the stuff we grow on our farm but we don't do it. We do it because if we grow on tribal land, we want to keep it, you
Ain't
know.
nothing wrong with that. I got tribal land in Vegas.
Yeah, you know, so just the outdoor fire, if you're going to do it, you spend the extra money and grow it organic. You know, that to me, if you're growing synthetics outdoor, there's absolutely no reason to do so, and it ends up being boof.
It makes a difference, for sure.
100%.
For sure.
So while we talking about that, what are you guys smoking right now? Because I'm curious.
Man, mind you, I'm definitely smoking mochi. I'm smoking this new flavor called lemon cream, what we got through Sincere.
I just smelled that shit. God, dear God.
Shit's fire, right? So we got a few new flavors dropping through that.
And you said that was your like cool level, like not even your. I was like,
that's the affordable fly guy shit. You feel me?
Look,
So-
we have our staples, the pink panties, all the gelato line, Sunset Sherbet.
I've tried Sunset Sherbet. I've never tried pink panties. But.
Pink panties is more of a sativa dominant kind of feel.
Okay, that's not for me then.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, what we found is a lot of people are like, oh, that's light. That's why we don't like that. But a lot of women, a lot of creative people, a lot of people that don't want to get super blasted, they've really been loving
like
it.
our Barney's feedback, like people who gave us a response back when we did that pop up for Barney's recently at Beverly Hills,
Right.
they were like, "Oh, the weed's amazing, but it's too fucking strong, bruh." And we're like, "Oh, we never got that kind of feedback before." So
Yeah.
to get it, it's like, okay, well, we do have flavors that are a little bit lighter because we don't want to just knock you the fuck out.
Speaking of the pop up, like I say, so how many stores do you guys currently have, and then how many stores you guys are currently in?
I mean, for cannabis, we're in over 100 stores. We could be in much more, but we want to be selective on, what dispensaries, which ones
That's
are,
dope.
doing a good job. But right now, we're about to pick up a big distributor and launch that this next month. Plus, we're going to have our flagship on Fairfax that's opening. So a lot
Bro,
of
I
things are
cannot
going to
believe-
change.
3, 4, 5,
Listen.
Fairfax.
You got to remember,
Just the facts.
just so you know, I went to Fairfax High School.
Right.
That's my block, fam.
Right.
I'm part of one of the first people that really put that block on.
Of course.
I'm talking, before Supreme ever was there and everything.
Respect,
course.
man.
To see that store, because I don't go down the block that much anymore. So when I saw it, I almost fucked around and crashed my motherfucking Lambo truck. I was like, whoa, I almost rear-ended somebody. And I was like looking at, focusing on Tyler's store golf, because that's like my brother, right?
No, it's family, new neighborhood.
And I looked over and I was like, I almost texted Chrissy. I'm like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Oh, you guys, that's a billboard, right? Like y'all putting up, and I was like, it's all orange. I was like, wait a second. And I hit up and I was like, nah, motherfucker, I hit up some, I won't say who I hit up. They were like, nah, motherfucker, they putting up a shop. And I was like, dear God. So you're in about 100. I appreciate the fact that you said they're limited, because VVS is not for the dude who's trying to save up. I got enough money for an eighth. Like, no, bro, I got this for the soccer mom that's married to the billionaire, tech dude who wants to drive her Bentley truck and
that's important too, though.
Be discreet.
That's also a factor that's important. We definitely want to cater to everyone that's in the smoking category. For us, it's just we come from being a really elevated brand, so we sell everything that's really strong for the connoisseur. You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, like, how do you decide what stores? Like, how do you decide what stores you're going to put it in?
I mean,
Who makes that decision too?
I mean, we make it together with the whole team. The thing is that with our background, especially my background comes from streetwear. We've always seen things being released really limited or in a boutique or something that's elevated from the average bear, and that's kind of where we looked at it from our perspective. I think it was important because he already had relationships with dispensaries that were already established, but then the ones that we were paying attention to were the ones that have the aesthetics that we want and that are about our brand,
And really the bottom line is who's doing good business, who's putting marketing money, who's spending money on a nice location. And I've got a great team, and we really rely on them to see
on, bro.
how we're going to expand.
Let's be bad guys right now. But so if you could speak on it, if you don't want to, it's cool. I ain't tripping. But who's doing bad business out there?
I mean, for me, a lot
Not
of
us.
I mean, for me, straight up, I hate to say it, but these unlicensed dispensaries are the ones that are doing bad business for me, because we're sitting there paying taxes, going through all the hoops.
The trap shops is fucked up, man.
Yeah, I mean, so to me, that's what really hurts a business, because they're able to sell, the same way we are, but they don't have to,
Ain't gotta pay the
comply with
17,
any of the
15%
regulations.
tax.
Yeah, and
Right.
so
Motherfucker, I'm paying $30,000 a month in testing, dog. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So what's the difference between your strains and how they're cultivated compared to like the next brand? You know what I'm saying?
Me, man, I've been growing a long time. We started gelato from the very beginning. There's a ton of other people that have built whole careers on it. But when it comes down to growing it, I just keep it simple. A lot of the techniques I use, it's the same recipe that people have been, my OG homies like Ian, the guys that were growing their stuff for years, I still use the same recipe. A lot of people have switched that over to like a salt recipe so they can grow it more to scale, which is not really much different, but I'm one of those guys that if it's not,
Is that like a
don't
cheating?
fix
You
it.
think that's a cheating technique or?
No, it's a scale thing, because a lot of things is when you have nutrients, 99% of it is water, and
Yeah.
the rest of it is the news. So when you ship that and you're doing 1,000 light grows, these guys get that 1 or 2% ingredients and they just mix it with water themselves, and then that way it's just a lot easier. But people are starting to perfect that and get a lot better at it, and the herb that's coming out of it's good quality.
But what is it about your brand's cultivation? Because that's what it is. It's what got me, right? What's about your brand's cultivation that has this entire industry buzzing?
I mean, a lot of it, I got to give it up to the genetics. And it's one of those things, like if you're having a baby or something, right? And you got like working with two people that aren't, well, let's just say not blessed, with everything you might want to, the children that come off of that aren't going to be much different. So you want to start with good genetics, but then it comes in like having a good environment, having the passion and the love to put into these plants. It's just no different than, making the chef that goes, he has the same things that he can make food out of. He can go to the store and get the same vegetables and spices and things to make. But what is it about that chef that makes it special? To me, that's where I come in. That's where I feel like differentiates me, from everybody. It's the passion and the love you put into it. And I really feel like it transfers into the product.
So why orange?
Man, orange is it's crazy. Orange is.
I like that color. I've always liked orange.
Color of life.
When we were looking at the design in the beginning, it just popped out. To be honest with you, it was just the one thing that stood out to us when we were doing the design work, and it kind of went from there. And really, even now, if I see something orange on a shelf, even you see something orange, is that Sherbinski? It's literally like it's become what Tiffany Blue was become.
It is. No disrespect to Josh D or anybody else. Everyone uses a regular glass, no cases, something like this, right?
Right.
It's smart. It's brilliant. Salute to you, dog. That's really smart, man. It's
Even to go back on the orange, I feel like the orange, at least for me and how we connected, I feel like it was a deeper connection too, because the orange in my culture is like the color of the Khalsa, which is like where I'm from. It's like a color of a warrior.
Okay.
So the orange is like, it's even the brands I was working on. I had my own clothing brand before this, and everything was orange too. So just to like where we met, it was just everything just aligned perfectly.
You don't eat, you're Indian, so you don't eat red meat, right? You don't.
I mean, I do once, I went to Spain and had some beer and shit. Nah, but I really don't though. Once in a while,
I didn't know about it until, I was working with this one
Definitely
cat.
no swine.
And yeah, they were like, yo, man, they cows, like, they worship it. Yeah, sacred.
It's sacred.
But orange is the number one color that you see. It's the highest spiritual color in India. So in all of the temples, it's the most prominent color.
Yeah.
I fuck with orange. I fuck with it. So let me ask you a question, man. Who have you met because of your business? Like someone cool. Name somebody you met because of the business.
Damn, not the name drop.
Not really name drop, but yeah, I mean,
outside of what we are, like people we already know, like some cool shit.
Somebody we're inspired by, or somebody that
it could just anyone that you wouldn't think that you would have met. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, I met the fucking founder of Uber. Boom, he's smoking my weed, whatever. I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, to me,
I got a good one, but I got an NDA signed, unfortunately. I
got the same shit. I got you. Ain't got to talk about
I
it.
got a good one though.
To be honest with you, one of my favorite people was John Mayer, and I know you're friends with him, but
I love that dude.
He's one of those guys like, it ends up being a comment on one of my pictures, and then we're talking in the DMs. The next thing you know, I'm at him and Chappelle are doing a show in San Francisco at the Fillmore, and I'm there.
Shout out Dave.
And he's just a real one. Shout out John Mayer. Shout out,
as
Chappelle.
busy as this motherfucker is, touring, writing songs. I mean, dude, is he not the coolest guy in the world?
Super down to earth.
Him and Dave together is like how me and Sherb are together. They're fucking hilarious.
I've known Dave for over 20 years too, so it's a different thing.
Dave used to be on Hay Street smoking cigarettes and shit back in the day. Most Def used to skate up and down there. We used to, shout out True, and used to be down there on Hay Street. Shout out Mike
True.
Brown.
Fuck, I bought some shoes there, man. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of history there, and people definitely used to come to the city.
So who's your favorite celebrity to smoke with then?
I actually, if you ask me who can smoke the most, I've smoked with everyone from your Nas to anyone you could think
Migos,
of, bro.
right.
Migos to the the Uzis, and my boy Belly from EXO, man, don't play no fucking games.
You know what?
Dog.
Belly always has. I've smoked a little with Belly, but Belly always has a fucking blunt every single fucking time I see this.
And the crazy shit, to go back to what you said about celebrity wise, me and Belly used to smoke for a long time, especially his birthday. We smoked like 4 days straight type shit. And when I finally linked with Nip, it was crazy because Belly didn't want to give him my contact. But every time Nip would come through, Belly would be like, I got the bag. And then when I finally linked up with Nipsey, it was insane because shout out my boy Jay Shep, put that together, and I pulled up and Nip was like, oh my God, you the motherfucker with the bag you never give me the contact for.
Oh, hilarious.
Shout out. We did the Pressure album with Bino and a couple other people. We stayed in the studio for weeks, bro, and it was like, that time was incredible, bro. Just to have those experiences that you can go back and think about is just legendary,
But I mean, people like Travis, Thugga, like
Travis
you
weekly.
just on and on and on. Like the places we go, people we get to smoke with, it's
it's weird. Travis is an old friend of mine. Never smoked with Travis. I didn't know Thug smoked.
Man, it's crazy because the ones you really think are gonna smoke are like not smoking that much. Like when I linked with Fabulous or I linked with Nas, I rolled like 19 joints, and after the second one, they're like, yeah, we good, fam. And I'm like, what
No,
you mean?
but Snoop and Redman and Wayne smokes like, bro. I've seen Wayne have 26 blunts and it goes through him. And then boom, he's smoking so many blunts that they had to put paper over it because his lips don't turn black.
Right.
Like Wayne really smoke.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely OG smokers.
I mean, honestly, everybody that we meet, we appreciate just the opportunity to like give them, you know, our product and share it with them, and it's always love. So
my favorite is when you see like the athletes, you know, we get to go on the low and you see the homies just chilling. It's
I want to say some shit, but
so,
I can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't.
So it's just, you know, protect the homies, but at the same time, we've had some great experiences just to be able to share this medicine with people from all over the spectrum of the, you know, the industry. Like, it's good feedback.
I mean, more and more stories we hear from people, messages, hey, you know, my pops was, you know, coming back from chemo and he smoked your stuff and he was able to sleep. Thank you. And to me, going back to the Hate Street vibe and the whole beginning of the cannabis culture, that was what really drew me into this. Is like at first it was about the money. But when you see more and more people come to you and tell you how this is benefiting you directly and like the weed that they get from me, it was like humbling, and that's when I decided to, you know, really go in and dedicate my life to this. And so ever since I went then and I went all in, like the whole world has opened up to me. So it's been an amazing journey.
Listen, people don't know that hating and talking shit are really two different things.
Of course.
I talk a lot of shit, but I'm not hating. I'll be real, you know? So what I'm getting at is I want y'all to be like, what's the best weed that y'all smoked that wasn't Sherbinskis? If you ain't got nothing to say, then don't trip.
No, I won't do that. I fuck with everyone, man. I'm gonna set it straight right now. I fuck with a lot of flavors, especially with our flagship opening. We definitely have to have Skittles in there. Shout out Fields. We got a few flavors that are really good. That strain is good. A good strain of like maybe a Billy Kimber or a Jet Fuel is always good.
Oh, that's my man, Woo.
Yeah, all those guys, you know, they're good homies. We used to, you know, we've definitely done work with those gentlemen too. So there's a lot of good strains out there. A lot of people don't come with the strains because they feel like we're not going to try it. Sherb's a little bit more picky, you know what I'm saying? But I'll give it a try. Let's go.
You know, let me give a shout out to some of the old school soldiers. Let's go back a little bit.
There you go.
Granddaddy Purple, Chem 91,
favorites.
Sour,
Sheesh.
you know, OG, you know, like Trainwreck, like a lot of the
Jack.
old shit like that. No, for real, Jack, not as much. It's more sativa. But a lot of these that we grew up smoking on before cookies, before gelato, before sherbet, you know, what really was holding it down, you know, if you had a good Granddaddy, you remember the Bay. Granddaddy Purple owned the Bay for years. I mean,
it was the Godfather. Am I not tripping? Or it's like the...
I mean, I definitely cracked that bag of perp in the Bay, bro. I was, you know,
Hold on,
G-Unit to you know, everyone.
What year did Girl Scout cookies come out?
I mean, gelato was 2014, so cookies was like
seven.
at least... It was at least 5 years
I was
before
going to
that.
the club, like Green Door for sure, getting the first bag of cookies in like 07, 08.
Because I remember Wiz Khalifa was on it heavy.
Yeah.
On Girl Scout cookies.
I just seen Wiz. We smoked that Jello, bro. He forgot his verses on stage. He was loaded. Shout out Wiz.
Shout out to Burner.
So, yeah, man, Burner's my guy, man. So, what's the best cannabis event you've been to?
Right now, the Hall of Flowers that we just did recently was pretty cool, man, because it's outside. It's still in the industry, but they're opening their mind a little bit to everything around it. So meaning that the weed is the business, but there's so many different things going around the business that are cool. And that's why Hall of Flowers, I feel like, is a new...
I mean, talk about it, bro. Where is Hall of Flowers? Let people know who don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Hall of Flowers happens in Santa Rosa in Northern California. It's like the agenda or the magic for cannabis.
It's industry. It's more industry-based.
Yeah, and it's
not like MJ BizCon.
No.
You know
MJ BizCon is that's not it. That's a lot of guys with briefcases and bow ties and shit. But
everyone
it's for distributors.
was there last week.
It's for brands. It's for distributors. A lot of creatives are hovering around it because they see it's sort of it's kind of like the Complex Con for the cannabis industry in a sense, you know. And you know, just to speak on Complex Con, I mean, we did Complex Con in Long Beach last year.
Actually, I remember that. I remember
that.
Yeah.
And I saw it and was like, what the fuck?
We got and you know, not to be again a hater, but just to kind of talk shit. You know, I mean, we got a lot of pushback from those guys, man. And we came and I talked to the people that we were in contact with. I told them the vision I had and what we wanted to do. And you know, at the booth, people were smoking. You know, we couldn't stop people from smoking, and it was
it's
a
a
vibe.
Cali thing. You feel me? Like
And you know, we wanted to go to Chicago and you know do a whole event. We wanted to bring Nike in, and they ended up saying, you know, not letting us in. So my thing is with Hall of Flowers, and where I'm going with it is it's more of a culture where it's for us, by us, if you will, you know,
Nice.
and it's just a different kind of vibe. And I like Complex because I think there's a connection, but I think Hall of Flowers gives us the vehicle in order to do that, where there's legality behind
Complex
it.
gives us the youth.
Let me say this real quick. My boy co-founded Complex Con.
Of course.
I was one of the first people that kind of like put like the big first push on it. You know, like I support it. It's not my life or anything, and it has changed the lives the first time you could bring direct to consumers.
Shout out Mark Echo.
Yeah, shout out to Mark Echo. Shout out to my man Aaron Levant. You know,
Yeah, Aaron Levine was definitely.
and going on, talking about Hall of Flowers.
He does. Oh, he doesn't do Hall of Flowers. What's his name from Agenda does Hall of Flowers? Is it Adam?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But now, I missed it. I mean, I just told you guys my schedule is crazy. I think, and no offense to you guys at all whatsoever, but like he came from a streetwear background.
Right.
You know how many times I've been featured in Hot Beast or Complex Con, and then people are like, oh, you're in cannabis. I promote it, but like if you don't know, you don't know, but people know. I think there's a good chance of me easing us in there a little bit because I could use some more plugs. And I've already had my history with Nike. I've had my battles. I've had my fuck you.
Right.
So that's something I want to work with you on so we can kind of collectively bring that back in, and it brings me up to the next thing, right?
Can I say one thing though before you go? Don't forget what you were gonna say. But one of the things that I wanna, like, where I feel like how I've got to where we're at, and also with G, is I've always just wanted to present myself. I know that it's gonna take time, but as you can see, this is becoming a $1 billion industry. Cannabis is breaking down all types of doors now, all types of industries, and people are working with it that wouldn't have before. We just want to position ourselves and build relationships with people like Nike. Shout out to Nike. I love Nike. I love the brand. I love what they stand for. But we just want to position ourselves in the right way and not step in our own shit. And just basically when the time is right, we're there. And there's nobody else to think of other than us to do work with when it comes to cannabis. And whether that's, we got to take an approach from the health and wellness side, and we reach out and we do community leadership. Those are the programs that I'm creating so I can kind of bridge that gap.
Also, CBD is starting to slowly make its way into Whole Foods. You're talking about once Whole Foods and Erewhon gets this shit, it's going, you know, and that's CBD, of course, right? But like, I'm talking like, I know it's non-psychoactive, but I fuck with the like, I forgot these little tabs, what they called, Pro Tabs or some shit.
Right.
And they got the CBD with like, you know, 8-to-1, whatever, blah, blah. I love them shits. You know what I'm saying? They hit you a little bit. What, I mean, because we're talking about this. Did you ever think the cannabis industry would be where it is today, though?
Yeah, actually, to be, it's kind of crazy. I kind of envision it a little bit further than this. That's how I feel. Like, that's why me and Sherb get along so well, because it's in a great stage where it's at right now, but where it's going is about to be fucking incredible.
Okay, so where's it going?
I'm glad you brought that up, because
I mean, he could speak on it, but I mean, where I stand, I think, you know, the future of, you know, medicine being available at your bedside in the hospital, or, you know, providing medicine directly to the patient.
Yeah.
In those, in severe circumstances, I think that's huge.
I've seen dentists hit me up, and dentists want to because they're scared to use the gas, and also the what's the shit that Michael Jackson died off? Propofol.
Right.
They're scared of that, so they're like, hey Ben, how about us having a fuck fentanyl, man? Shit, it killed too many people, man. Fuck everyone who would do it. Fuck
I thought
everyone
that's
who would
what
sell
killed
it.
him. Fentanyl.
No, it was Propofol, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Michael Jackson was a client of mine.
Yeah, he was.
And I made all his jewelry before he passed away. But going on, like, that's amazing that people are even considering. These are squares, dog. You know, Asian doctors are like, hey, listen, we want to get these guys high before they go do, you know, oral surgery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like, what would you like to see in the future of cannabis is what I'm trying to say.
For me, one of the biggest goals for Sherbinskis and for me personally is I want to see like the spread of access in these different states, you know, because one of the things is a lot of people come to me and from these different states around the world, and they say, oh, we love your Sherbinski, and I'm on opiates or whatever it is, their alcohol, and they say, you know, if we only had access to what you have, you know, we wouldn't be doing those things. And so now, just when I started the game, there was no dispensaries, and California was the only state that was medically legal. Now we got 30-something states that's medically legal, 16-something states that are recreationally legal. Yeah, and so it's moving, you know, even though it may seem slow, it's moving along pretty fast. And we've been able to, as you said, position ourselves. I think what the unique position we're in is a lot of these brands, going back to like streetwear and just brands itself, is and also Fairfax, is a lot of these brands in streetwear, they weren't developing during this time. So even if they wanted to develop a brand that actually could sell weed, they couldn't, because they already went too far. The corporate investors being on that. But we're in a position where we can kind of enter that world, and we could do both.
And still be cool.
Well, the whole thing was, even, my back, like we had talked about with the skates and stuff, those were conversations we had years ago. And they were laughing at me, and it was like, I'm trying to tell you, bro, this shit's about to happen. And it's like crazy to see our mutual homies now are getting into the weed space, like yourself. Shout out Nick, who's doing the VVS with you.
Yeah. Fucking Jay-Z's getting into it. Drake's getting into it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's definitely good angles for it, but it's just crazy to see that where it's come to from where we've seen it. It's a good time.
But I hate people would be like, oh man, Ben Baller, you a culture vulture. Like, let me go back a little bit. Bro, my man Damon Dash created that term. How dare you motherfucking call me that shit? You fucking loser. People will be like, oh, stick to jewelry. People don't realize, like, I make dope jewelry, but like, I've been doing this longer.
It's just people don't want to understand that how much time it's taken. That's the part that people really don't want to understand. Like, even with me and Sherb, like, for us to get it this far, we've been, to go back to even the question you said, why are we successful where we're at, is because we're willing to learn. Our team's getting bigger, we're getting better. We're staying in the gym. We're shooting every day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no. With that being said, like, we've definitely missed a lot too. Don't get it wrong. But now we're at a point in our game where we know we're gonna make it. Meaning that we're even when we look next to us, when we have this conversation all the time, we're like, well, who's next to us? Who's doing something just like us? When we look left and right, it's just us, bro. And so people rely on us to innovate the industry right now for where it's going. And to be, starting those conversations, like Sherb says, to have that dialogue even started with, like, these big brands. Let it be Pumas, let it be the Nikes, let it be whoever. Like,
right.
Those relationships took decades. You know what I'm saying? Like, those took time. Like, exactly. Like, you got to sit down and you got to feed that. You got to nourish it. You got to keep going with it. Even if there's days where that relationship, you're like, damn, I ain't talked to this brand in 2 years. Is he gonna hit me back?
On that note, like, I wanted to bring something up too. Is one of the things that G and I stand for as well is you don't see a lot of minorities in this business. You hear me?
Facts.
Like, there's a few black owners, operators. There's, very few Asians, other than,
Shout out my Indians who doing all this shit, CBD, everything.
And what I notice is when we go to these events, there's a lot of black people, a lot of Latinos, a lot of Asians around us. There's like less and I'm almost like, man, we got to be more inclusive of the white people. And where I'm going with it is I think one of the things that is made Sherbinskis popular is that we're open to every culture. We're open to everyone. When you come to our events, yeah, it's heavy with the culture, with music and with artists, but that's where we come from. That's who we are. And I think that's something that can't be bought. That's something that can't be faked. It can't be duplicated like that. And, one of the things that we want people to always know is we are inclusive of everyone. Man, woman, gay, straight, fat, skinny, it doesn't matter. Like, it's about the medicine. We all need it. We all have brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles that are someday going to need medicine. And we just want to be there to provide better alternatives, medicines, and then to do it with style. And
you a humble motherfucker, bro. You way more chill and humble than I ever thought, which is great.
You,
but you know what? I got a couple other questions, but now that we talk about the humble shit, fuck that, bro. Listen, this has been
nasty.
This has been profitable for you guys, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What's the first motherfucking like flex thing you bought when you made some paper, man?
A house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those guys, bro. I save my money. It's not about cars and fancy chains. And I think I bought my first chain, like, recently, kept it pretty low key recently. But to me, it's about...
good for you. I'm saying, like,
you take care of the people that you love the most or that are around you, your family, your close friends, and there's a lot of things behind the scenes.
Tell me something else, man. Come on, man. You went to...
I spend a lot of money on clothing, on shoes.
You bought a nice house, bro. You got a nice crib. You sitting nice out here.
I'm pretty happy with that.
You got out the hood, man.
I could have bought 5 cars with that, what you spend on the house. But to me...
I think that's what makes us different than the rest, bro, because we aren't... You going to ask me what I bought? I bought my mom all new appliances for her crib, bro.
Dope. Man.
Like, I'm not giving a fuck. I'm doing a kitchen remodel right now for my mom's house. Like, I don't need shit, bro.
No,
I got my health.
I got everything.
I got my
you right, man.
You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where, like, we could go out. Shit, I do need a rollie, Ben. Put me on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but those kind of things.
No, I get it, bro.
But they'll come. Another thing is I spend money on vacations. I spend a lot of money on vacations.
That's
I work
what
really
I'm talking
hard.
about.
Yeah.
I got 3 kids, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, and like, I got 3 tuitions. I take care of my kids. Travis Barker, motherfucker, got like a $14 million crib. He got an Escalade. he never really got a Ferrari. He never was really that dude. You know what I mean? He just still wears ripped up T-shirts and shit. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I think as part of it, like with what we do and being in the industry, I think certain people is part of it. You know, having nice things, and of course, it's part of the business actually, because people are attracted to those type of things. And I think once you have certain things though, and you buy it and you experience it, it's like with anything else. Like as a man, you just sort of, you know, it's not as exciting. But I like to spend my money on things that, like, I might not know what I got for Christmas last year, but I know where I went on vacation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Real talk.
And I ain't got a Christmas gift in fucking 10 years, bro. Come on, man.
No, we definitely still having fun, man. We enjoying ourselves. We talk about it all the time. I'm telling this man to get him like an orange McLaren or something. You know what I'm saying?
But trust, it's early in the game.
Yeah,
no, trust me, we're still developing a lot.
Check it out. That's what I'm getting to right now. Listen, I was making money early on when we first started booming, but then that first compliance, like Renew came up, then the last compliance, that fucked. I was like, God damn, bro.
Yeah, bro.
We gonna make some paper or what? And then they got this new metric shit coming in. This is like the BCC is on some whole other shit. But like, okay, so Canada has legalized it as a country, right?
Right.
When do you think the USA is gonna be 50 state federally legal?
Sooner than later. I think within the next 2 years.
Oh shit, 2?
Yeah, and I think hemp is the beginning of that. The farm bill that passed, and it's the beginning of the framework for this legalization to happen. It could be even sooner. You know, I mean,
bro, if it happens
before
in 2
Trump
years,
before Trump goes out of office, you know, who knows?
I'll be real with you. If it happens in 2 years, do you know how? Listen, I'm pretty sure you guys know how ignorant I am already as it is. Do you even know what's gonna happen, bro? Like
You're not gonna wear a shirt anymore, bro. You're just gonna walk around no shirt on.
No, I might get plastic surgery. I might have my face look like fucking Barack Obama, some other shit.
He turned into Carrot Top.
Yeah. No, I might fuck around and turn into. I mean, for real. So with that said, because I do feel like it's coming. 3 to 5 is what I'm hoping, 3 or less. How do you feel about these big corporations? Fucking Red Bull, Coca-Cola dropping billions of dollars into CBD. Fucking like Marlboro about to drop $2 billion into. How do you feel about corporate weed?
I feel like in any industry, no matter what it is, that's part of, you know, the people early on find out about it. You know, they start to build a business, then they realize, oh, this could be bigger, and then, oh, I need to get an investor. It's like the full evolution with any business, and that's happening in this industry, and it's changing. But to me, it's like, if you can't beat them, join them. And I decided I was one of the early street guys that said, wait, if I don't get an investor now, like, I'm not going to be around. And there's a lot of guys that I used to work with that aren't around anymore. Yeah. And unfortunately, you know, you gotta give up some of the.
I didn't laugh because I was laughing at you. I'm laughing because it's so simply said and it's the realest shit ever. And people be like, oh man, you know, you don't do that. Like, bro, listen, man, I have dreams and goals in my life, and this is the path. This is the right direction to get me there.
It's not even that. I feel like corporate, the big guys that are coming, they kind of sat back and are waiting. Because they're now you got to keep in mind, like you said, with all the regulations, they're filtering out all the guys who aren't going to make it this far.
Yeah.
So whoever's standing next to us right now today, let it be us, let it be you, let it be anyone that's made it this far through regulations and rules. Like, these big corporations have been waiting back, and now they're going to feed this machine even bigger because, like we had this conversation earlier, like, they're going to come with 1 million lights. They're going to come with, you know what I'm saying, the things that...
Fuck.
Yeah, bro. Like,
you said hold on, bro. Hold on. He said
I think they're talking square feet.
Do you understand what you know what?
We're just trying to scare him a little bit, man. Come
bro,
on, bro.
Do you know what 1 million lights looks like, bro? I've seen.
I don't, but I'm ready to see it.
Oh my lord!
Come holla at us, man. We need those.
Yeah, we're gonna be at AT&T Park in San Francisco. 1 million lights. Like, can you imagine what, bro? Could you imagine what
I mean, but those conversations are being had. I wouldn't imagine why they wouldn't be.
Look,
you talking about, like, they would have to be Google for trimmers. They'd have to have, oh, today's trimming day. Yeah, okay, you got a whole fucking Google employee staff, like that many people. Bro, 1 million lights, bro.
Then you're employing masses, bro.
No, but you are. Listen, you're putting money in people's pockets. You helping people out. You're doing it for a good cause. I want to share a story and say the fact that, like I said, it's really impressive that some of the people I respect the most, whether it be a young rapper, whether it be an OG or anything, it's impressive that everything happens for a reason. I hate saying that, but it does, because God's plan is God's plan. You can't change it. Yeah. And when I see the orange canisters, I smile, and I don't even know you, bro. Do you want to know why? Because the little bit that I heard of you from being from the Bay, doing this, I don't know you was in real estate. All I know is you had something that was cool. I heard you didn't dress like in like Versace and shit. You was pretty chill. You know, you didn't go out and do. What I'm saying is, we had somewhat of a similar background, and you did it, you know what I'm saying? And you were innovative, and you employ people, you know, that are good people in streetwear or whatever it may be, that might not get a job in some other big corporation. You know, they might not be able to get a job at Google. They might be able to get a job at fucking at Universal Records or whatever it may be. But you got them working, and you got this.
Thank you, bro.
And you go keep it growing.
That means the world to me.
We employ big opportunities here. It's not just the guys who are trimming weed. We got, you know, a big, you know, you've come to our infrastructure now, so you know that, you know, there's a lot of opportunity here.
You know, one thing, while you brought that up, I wanted to announce, you know, Mario Guzman, we're starting passion projects. And what I'm going to be doing through our dispensary in these communities is I want to work with people like you and all these cool cats around me that are leaders that have come up from the mud and to have their own story. And I want to have a direct connection with these kids that look up to us, but they don't have maybe father figures, or, you know, maybe they don't have the leadership. And we actually give them free game and said, hey, this is where you need to go, but it didn't come easy. And it takes this many years, but here's some of the pitfalls, and give them some real leadership. Because one of the biggest things I see in this world, definitely in this community, is a lack of leadership, and definitely, you know, minority leadership. And I want to show them that, you know, people of color can also be CEOs, can also run companies.
100%.
And it's not just the creative side. And I think the creatives and the people that, like you were speaking with, that I want to employ, is like a lot of times they get the shit end of the stick. And there's very few people that are able to rise up. But this talent, these are the people that, and a lot of them, mostly all of them, are smoking weed.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are the creative minds behind the biggest brands in the world. And so I want to really create that connection and create leadership in our industry. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. I think naturally,
Shout out to my boy Mr. Fab.
You know.
God damn,
Oh,
he
yeah, Mr.
doing
Fab,
it in
my legend.
Oakland. The
Big bro.
motherfucker is really
everybody putting out work, you know what I mean? But like a lot of people say, hey, you know, you sound like, you know, you really want to do community service. And I think like the marathon continues, you know what I mean? And like the whole spirit, we all have that spirit to be able to give game back. And it doesn't cost us anything, maybe some of our time. And so I'm going to go heavy, especially with the local communities, the Bay Area, Los Angeles, like where we're from, and put in the time. And everybody we talk to is really gravitating towards this. We're actually going to be producing a song as well that's going to be coming out that has, I can't name drop yet, but Grammy award-winning writers, and it's all about pushing the cannabis movement and the end of prohibition. And really, you talk about the future and where we're going. The future is cannabis is going to be ready, available for everybody. You're going to be able to get it in every form, from a drink to a cream to smoke it. And, you know, it's about safe access. So we're just glad to be in that position.
And to unite,
and
man.
show
We're here to
leadership.
work, man.
Listen, whatever you're talking about and everything you're talking about, consider me involved.
Thank you, bro.
I had a charity in Washington State because I had a nonprofit organization in Seattle, donated millions to inner city kids, schools, computers, whatever it was. I help out Fab with the backpack shit. I got a couple other things. So just consider me involved.
Thank you, man.
I'm in there. One of my last things before I ask every single special guest that I have come through here is, do you guys have anything you want to ask me?
Man, I seen you go bad on bruh with the fucking jewelry, dog. You over here went bad on cuz. What's his name? Tracks, right?
Yeah,
Hold
no,
on,
dog.
man.
He ain't that dude.
He
Man.
ain't got the track record you do, bro. You got history.
No, I
behind
mean, you know, listen, dude. I get it. He's an immigrant, whatever, from Azerbaijan, is from what he said, and did this, and this. The thing I didn't appreciate is, check this out, man. I had Greg Una, aka the old Mr. Flawless,
Right.
came on the show. Greg said something about him. He
Shout
came
out,
at me.
Greg.
He came at me with some non-facts. Said my family was in jewelry. My mom was a dressmaker. Well, you know, she sold dress. My dad was a teacher. So like, I'm like, yo, you on some fuck shit. But you know what, man? Like,
But
listen,
the jewelry
bro.
was your uncle's thing, right? Were you and your uncle,
My
though?
uncle shit. But at the same time, like, I bought him out and he's out the
Right.
game. He taught me, so like I can't ever, you know, not pay him. But I put a lot of paper in his pockets.
Facts.
But what I'm getting at is, you talking about a different level. I don't care how much you have your YouTube page and how much you educate this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying, I don't really know dude, but what I'm trying to say is there are different levels, right? And a lot of the shit he's not making, he's whatever. And then again, you know, he was really mad and whatever, and I kind of laughed about it. But what I'm getting at is, I'm doing different things in jewelry. Do you know what I mean? He's selling out, you know, I mean, he's just selling lower quality shit.
I mean, a lot of people don't know the difference either. That's the scary part, because that's the difference between you and another jeweler. Is like, you want to, just like us, we want to
all about being
educate.
different.
You want to educate people about what it is you provide them and what makes you special, right?
And there was, like, you guys are doing weed, and I'm going in doing different things as well. There was never somebody, like Jacob had it. He was my inspiration. He was my idol, my mentor. When I came in, I said, listen, bro, I'm about to come in here, start doing Olympic rings, start doing championship rings. Besides hip hop, NBA, NFL players, rich celebrities, Saudi kings, royalty kings. I'm talking about, bruh, I'm doing collaborations with Takashi Murakami, with Cause, people who are like, you know what I'm saying, the top living legend contemporary artists in the world.
Right.
And I'm doing different things. Like, I can't even, like, I just did a fucking corporate Snickers chain. It's in the NFL. It's getting passed every week to a different player. And like,
yeah, I seen that. That shit was crazy.
You know, but yeah, so.
I mean, that's like us
I got
too,
a couple
like
questions for you. 2 parts. Other than your kids, what's your number one prized possession, or maybe top 2 things that you have? It could be anything: toys, cars, whatever, jewelry. And then the second one is what was that time in your life that you look back to that was like the pivotal moment where you knew you made it, and you know you started to connect? Like, I've heard a few things of like those moments, like the song and things, but for you personally, when was that pivotal moment when you knew your like life was about to blow up?
Man, as far as like a prized possession, I don't mean to sound corny or anything, right? I've had 40 exotic cars in the last like 12 years, right? And don't get me wrong, I love cars. I've loved them all my life. I'm starting to realize, because they didn't change my life. Like, I could get a ding on the car and it would fuck up everything for me for the rest of the day. Where I'm at right now, because the kids are getting older and everything, like, I'll keep it 100. I mean, I just bought 2 Ferraris in a week. You know what I mean? One's coming next year. And like, it's cool, but like,
you're not tripping.
No, it's cool. You know, I'm not tripping. So the kids obviously, you know, but to not sound corny, my most prized possession is my brain and all the memories, all the experience, all the failures. My motherfucking mindset is what is priceless to me, because I've lived 300 lifetimes, you know, and all that in my mind. That's why I did this podcast. I'm sharing that it's possible for the Asian Americans that came from K-Town, from my hood, and came from whatever, could be from San Francisco, from anywhere in the world. Hey man, if you want to be in the NBA, you want to be in something, you could be anything for real, because I made it, bro.
Real
and
talk.
I got kicked out of fucking 6 schools, you know, and be like, oh yeah, your teacher said you weren't gonna be shit. No, bro, my teacher, Mrs. Lou in 6th grade, really told me you're gonna be probably dead in jail or something. And bro, I'm here. Do you know what I mean? I'm a successful entrepreneur. I'm a father. I'm a husband. You know, I do what I can. I talk a lot of shit. At the same time, just because I do a lot of bad things or talking shit, that doesn't validate the good or whatever, or all the good things.
Of course not.
I do it because I do it. Do you know what I'm saying? So my prized possession is definitely my brain, man. That's just like,
Shout out to mental health. I'm big on, you know,
it is.
Of course, awareness for that as well. All the people that are struggling, shout out.
Now, the second question was, I made my first million in 2004 in May from selling my sneaker collection, and I kind of like...
Shout out DJ AM.
Yeah, DJ AM's my guy, and DJ Homicide as well.
Right.
But like, you know, you make your first million, you think you rich, and you can go out and buy some bottles or go out and buy, you know, some Gucci outfits and go buy a car. I bought a Ferrari, right?
Right.
That wasn't when I felt like I made it, because I realized, yo, man, this ain't shit.
Right.
When I realized I made it, and it sounds crazy as fuck, I retired in 2016, October. I said, I don't want to do any more jewelry anymore. Fuck this. ASAP Rocky and Ferg brought me back in the game. Ferg played me the song 5-6 months before it came out. We dropped the Lamborghini chain at ASAP Yams Day in New York City.
Right.
When the song started hitting Shanghai, China in a nightclub, Las Vegas, Hawaii, everywhere, Ferg is the name, Ben Baller did the chain. It was one thing, but it was another thing to see like someone like Brad Pitt say it. Frank Ocean dropped mine. It was that 1 year in 17. And like, I've been had paper. But that was when I realized, wow, all my life I never needed security. Now I got to have security. Now I'm really making my paper. Now it's coming from different directions.
Right.
I got a successful business here. I got investments here that are flourishing. I got my cannabis business that's doing well. My joy business is even going crazier than ever.
Right.
So I think that was when I knew, like, yo, bro, I damn near turned to a household name now. And I still consider myself a regular dude, you know, like I still go to Target, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I seen you pull up in that souped up little...
in the Rari.
No, I brought the minivan.
Yeah, I was like, the minivan looked crazy though.
Yeah, you know, but my Rari's getting done over at Platinum right now. But you know, I still want to be able to walk. Like, I just had it this weekend. This was the first time I told people I don't want to take pictures, because we're living a day and age now where
You forget the moment.
it's
You've
not
changed,
that.
man.
No. my agent was like, hey, Ben, John Mayer said it too.
Right.
I've seen John tell people no for pictures. Not being a dick, he's just like, boom. When you're in a hotel, you have to be careful that taking a picture with the girl in your hotel, because just because you're in the lobby,
Right.
you never know what their intentions are, and it's sad. It's got to get that way. So, you know, I don't necessarily think I'm
Not
famous.
the Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, you know. But what I mean is, you know, like, I want to be able to still go to fucking Sam's Burger in San Francisco.
On Broadway, shout out Sam's.
Who's that guy that takes the pictures that he never puts his arm on him? There's some celebrity or athlete, but he puts, I think it's Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves, every picture he ever takes, if you look, his arm goes around, but it doesn't touch. He's a G with it. He knows, like.
But yeah, that's pretty much, what I'm saying? I feel like, I've gotten to a point where people have been like, oh no, I never heard of Ben Baller. Then you hear the song, like, oh yeah, no, I know the song. And like, really, to tell you the truth,
It's like a household name.
Ever since 2017, I almost never tell anybody, oh, I'm Ben Baller. I just say, hey, I'm Ben Yang. Give the government up. And, I do that because I don't want my kids to have a weird life. I don't want them to have I just want everyone to be normal, man. For real, bro. I got this t-shirt from motherfucking JCPenney, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's the power of music and the culture of what that can do, really. And even for Gelato. Gelato is namesaked in over 200 hip-hop songs and all that. We don't give away free weed. We don't pay for that. It's just because that's what they're smoking.
And some of these motherfuckers have no idea it came from you. It's like gone so viral.
Right.
I mean, bro, goddamn.
It's not even that, but how many guys have pulled up on you, Ben, and been like, yo, I created this strain. You be like, come on, bro. I know the dude who really did this shit, man.
Can I set the record straight, too, for all of you that are listening? Gelato was made in my garage. Period. In San Francisco Sunset District. I popped the seeds, I grew it out, and I selected the phenos.
Did you guys hear that?
Period.
There's factual information.
The project I did was Jigga, but
shout out Jigga.
Burner's not a grower, he's not the one who did that. He's not the one, he promoted it and put it in people's hands like Wiz, and it was a magical part. And he, one things he did do is he put it out there on Instagram. Instagram was just starting when we first really got the shit popping.
Yeah.
And we all started Cookie Fam, and that shit blew up. But, come to Fairfax, 345 North Fairfax, and see what we're going to do. And you have access to all the original gelatos and, judge for yourself.
And the new shit we got coming too, man.
All the new.
Listen,
Gen
man. We gonna take a break. Yo, Miles, throw on that Lakey beat. But real quick, I gotta give another motherfucking shout out to Sherbinski team. Yo,
thanks for having
you guys
us,
for
bro.
coming out, man. For real. Yo, G-Putt, my
Long
guys.
time in the making.
Yo, Lakey, hit me with that beat one time. Cheer. And we are back. Yo, I gotta thank my man Sherbinski, Mario, and the homie G-Putt. They gave me some motherfucking fire. Yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The first motherfucking strain of weed in the last 10 years that got me fucked, besides Kenji's OG, is the motherfucking Bachi Gelato. That motherfucker had me fucking twisted. Speaking of which, the Ben Baller Did the Strain shit is definitely coming soon. I can't wait for you to smoke the shit. Can't wait for you to try the shit. I'm heading out to motherfucking DC, and I just found out my man Michael Rapport is in DC this weekend as well, doing a stand-up. If you guys are in the DC area, definitely check him out at the DC Comedy Club or something like that. I forgot what the fuck it is, but he's performing, I think, Friday and Saturday night, maybe Sunday night too. I heard Mike Rapport's stand-up is hilarious as fuck. I'm gonna try to catch him on Friday night. So if you're in the DMV area, holla at me. Don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to Dave & Buster's this weekend. I gotta kind of keep it low because I gotta be there for my man for his wedding. What I do want to do is I really want to see Joker the movie. I'm a fucking big fan of motherfucking Joaquin Phoenix. I don't really fuck with Todd Phillips so much. Old school was dope. The Hangover was cool, but like this is like I'm trying to watch a serious like that Dark Knight, Batman Returns type shit, the real shit, the Christopher Nolan type, that dark ass vibe is what I'm trying to see. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Japan, there's only one channel that worked in the fucking room that wasn't Japanese. It was CNN. So I watched CNN for 5 days in that motherfucker in 5 nights. And all they played repeatedly was how Trump was getting impeached. And at first when I heard about it, I was like, okay, well shit, is he going to get impeached? Is he going to? Yo, this shit is crazy. Like, this motherfucker's really about to get impeached. Like, and I got some friends who support him and good for you, whatever. And I don't really want to talk about politics like that. But, man, it ain't got to do with Republicans. It's got to do with Democrats. This shit's about being a motherfucking patriot and about being down for your country. And what he did was some foul shit. And just that whole shit, man, he only out for himself. He don't give a fuck about America. He betrayed America. He's a punk. speaking about some more law punk bullshit, fucking justice system shit. I gave up faith in the justice system a long time ago. And, you know, I already knew that this situation was just fucked up when it came to the Amber Gurney. I don't know how the fuck, Amber Geiger, whatever fucking name is. And it's like, God damn, bro. Like, she got sentenced, you know what I'm saying, yesterday. And she got fucking 10 years, you know what I'm saying, for killing, you know, Botham Jean. Like, bro, like 10 years. Yo, listen, man. She went into a dude's crib. At the end of the day, this dude was in the so-called comfort of his own house, just chilling. He was kicking in his own home. And this bitch pulled up in his crib, banging on his door, and came in there and killed his ass. I don't give a fuck how much of a mistake it was or whatever, or any stupid motherfucker sit out there, it wasn't cold-blooded murder. She had no idea. No, I don't give a fuck. You got to be held accountable so much on a higher level, especially your police. If you were drunk, whatever the fuck you were doing, what the fuck is you banging on the door for? You should know right then and there, that ain't your house. Be on point. You know, I understand someone like me, old or whatever, but I still know it from my house. You know what I mean? Open the other door and fucking blast somebody. That's not cold murder. Okay, it was not premeditated. Fine. Bitch, you murdered somebody. 10 years, you about to get out probably in 5 or 6. Yo, man. And they expect people not to go crazy? Like, I don't know, man. We just got to do better. You know, that's some crazy shit. But going on back to the thing. I'm sorry, man. I jumped all over the place. But yeah, I want to go see the Joker movie. And my wife wants me to wait to go see it with her. The only thing is, my wife is heading over to fucking Philly to go see her homegirls, to see her friends and shit, right? She go to Philly first and then come fly meet me in DC on Saturday. But it's like, yo, we trying to see this Friday night. You know what I mean? Saturday, probably gonna have a dinner reception, the wedding rehearsal, and all the bullshit and everything. Well, not bullshit, sorry, my bad. But all the stuff that we got to do. But my wife is super excited because Kaya got one of her eyelids. If you're Asian and you realize most Asians, like 90% of Asians don't have eyelids, right? You know, it's just how you can tell they're Asian. They got a more slanted eye. And a lot of Korean people get the surgery. It's like Sangapul, you know, the surgery on the eye. And it's like super popular among Korean girls. You know, they get the eyelid surgery. But anyways, it's crazy because Kaya hasn't had them yet, whereas London and Ryder had them at like 10 months and 8 months and 7 months. And Kaya's, you know, over 2 now. And she got 1 so far. And who knows? Maybe it stays, maybe it comes. I don't really give a fuck. Me personally, I don't care. My wife is so big on that. It's like a big deal. What else, man? Fuck, I was just on the verge of saying something. God damn it. What the fuck was it? I was going to say, oh, my kid's a great Ryder is crazy. Ryder is the craziest fucking kid, man. He's just like always wants to be first. Him and London fight. Who's going to brush their teeth first? Who's going to wash their face first? Who's going to do this first? And like, Ryder had to go pee and London had to go pee. And Ryder blocked my son London's piss. He put his hand there, blocking his penis to pee into the toilet so he could piss first. I was like, yo, are you fucking crazy? Like these kids, man, they just, wow, man. But I'm going to miss them like crazy. Once again, yo, I'm heading out to DC. That was it. Yo, I really appreciate you guys tuning in to Behind the Baller. I'm just going to make this show as real as possible. This episode was cool. You know, we're going to get more into more cannabis cats, and I'm going to get more into more informative things, and also we get back into that army. I've been obviously just out of it. I'm going to podcast while I'm in DC, and we're going to talk about some shit, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out, you know, I definitely want to drop more gems on you guys. I want to get to that K-Town Hustler Part 3, which, you know, starts off jewelry and just how to start a business and just, you know, things you could do. I've always kind of been semi-popping, and I'm not saying that in an ego in any way. Just I've always knew how to just win. Like I said before, you know what I mean? Those who know how to win are going to win, period. You know, you could have skill, you could do everything right, you could sing, you could do this, and you still might not make it. It's a real high chance you won't. We're about to get out of here. One last time, I got to shout out Quip Protect, our sponsor. Listen, man, I'm going to be real. They are the best sneaker cleaner out there, period. They got fucking, you know, if you want to protect your nubuck, you want to fucking, you know, protect, you know, throw a shield on your Timberlands, throw a shield on any of your suede shoes, or any of you, actually, you know, any of your dope shoes that you don't want to get like chocolate stains and ketchup and sriracha all over your shoes, whatever the fuck it may be. They got the best premium brushes. They got fucking quick wipes. They got fucking scents for your inside, for your soles. They got motherfucking, they got shoe trees that are fired, like travel ones I use all the time. They're about to have these sneaker luggage pieces. You could carry your fucking shoes. Super dope, like sneaker carriers, like really, really nice. They got high-end display cases. Man, Quip is just the shit, man. Globally, they are the biggest and best sneaker cleaner on the earth. The reason why I fuck with Quip so much is because they give back more than anybody else to the sneaker community. They got real ambassadors out there eating. They take care of people, all right? So I fuck with Quip. Listen, we're going to get into more on another episode. Next time you hear me, I'll be live from DC, or actually, you know what, from Virginia, Northern Virginia. Shout out to my all NOVA, my Nova fam, all my Koreans out there in Annandale, Springfield, you know what I'm saying? Fucking Tyson's Corner. What else is there? Alexandria. Yeah, Alexandria. Okay, we in there. All right, guys, listen, man. Dust Brothers, hit me with that Lakey Lake. Everyone, God bless.